the sun she rises, early in the morning. I like to hear them small birds singing merrily upon their lane. And you're out for the life of a country boy, let's ramble in the new moon hay. In spring we saw at the harvest more, and now we know the season long ago. But all the time it goes I may rumbling through the new moon hay. I like to rise when the sun she rises, early in the morning. I like to hear them small birds singing merrily upon their lane. And they're off for the light of the country boy, set to ramble in the new moon hay.
Welcome. Welcome. I am the host. Yes, I am the host. You are in the kitchen with me, right? Or at the table, or on the couch, alone, with a loved one, next to a bowl of fruit. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter because I'm here, you're here, you are in the kitchen with me. Oh, yeah, before we start, I'd just like to rewrite history a little bit. Yeah, so there have been some rumors just kind of swirling around my head that I've been using Teflon non-stick cookware. I have not. So I'm using stainless steel cookware, okay? Much healthier, a little stickier, but I'm not using Teflon. I have 2 pans. 1, 2. Should I use 1 pan or 2? Which should I use first? Let's just make a quick decision and run with that one. All right. Oh, before we start, do you have some water? Water? Yeah. All right. Let's get started. So, welcome to Get Ready, Good Morning Tomorrow, where we get ready to say good morning to tomorrow. In case you needed reminding, today is Sunday. But it really doesn't matter because the days are just melting into each other. They really are. They're becoming like sand in one of those what's that? What is that called? Oh, my brain. Wow, I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. I know it's Sunday because you are here with me and I am here with you, and tomorrow is Monday. Monday is coming. There is no stopping it. And why would we want to? And how are we going to get ready for tomorrow? Well, it's simple. We're going to make eggs. Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs, simple as they are a staple of waking up around the world, and I love them. I do. I love them so much. You might find yourself asking, Tessa, why do you like scrambled eggs so much? And I would say, I don't know, why do you like breathing air so much? I love their creamy, dreamy tanginess. I am so committed to just pushing a group of curds around a pan. Sometimes it worries me. But I don't have my driver's license yet, so that might be No. No, seriously. There is a moment in the morning. Don't ask me why, don't ask me when, but there is a moment in the morning, okay? I've rolled out of bed, I've had some water, I've stretched my body, and all of a sudden I find myself in front of a pan, stirring eggs, awake. Something has happened. I'm not sure what. Maybe it's the crack of the shells. Maybe it's the sizzle of butter in the pan. Not to get too sexy at this hour, but it does sizzle. Or maybe it's just that the rush of it all, of pouring the eggs in, just jolts me. I'm ready. I've begun. I've already started. You got to start somewhere. So let's get started. We have recipes from 2 expert guests today. They will be each very different. I've actually never tried either of these recipes, so I'm very excited. If you are cooking along with me, I think a few of you are, let's make sure you have what you need, okay? So here's the list. A pan, some eggs, a bowl, a spatula. I like silicone. You can use wood. That's fine. Some butter. Any oil you want. I'm obviously using butter. Okay, I said a bowl. We've got a fork, salt and pepper, and maybe a little comb. Okay, great. So, I think we need to hear from our first guest. Oh, when you're listening to this, please close your eyes. I want us to just hear every word, okay? It's very important. Thank you.
Love it. I've been waiting all my life for this. So my scrambled egg recipe, it's actually not even my recipe, really. It's, I was watching some videos of Gordon Ramsay and how he prepares his eggs. And it literally always come out great. So it's literally how many ever eggs you want, some half and half or like cream, just like maybe like a teaspoon or a tablespoon or whatever, just gives the eggs like a kind of like a creaminess and like fluffiness. A little knob of butter in a pan. Let it sizzle, kind of on medium, like medium to low heat. And as you get a little hot, scramble your eggs in a bowl, put them in the pan, and you just kind of start to move them around. Keep them on the heat for 30 seconds, and then you take them off the heat for 30 seconds. But the whole time you're still just moving the eggs around, because it actually, by doing that, by keeping the eggs moving and cooking them on a low heat, is you're actually like creating small, like very small curds of egg. Like when you cook the egg, it curds up. You'll notice, like if you scramble eggs hard, like it comes out kind of like one big piece of egg, and like very big curds. But if you're moving it around constantly, it just creates like this very fine curd that makes it like very creamy, and I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just a lot. It's a lot. It just tastes a lot lighter and a lot creamier. And if you want cheese, you can throw whatever cheese you want in there, and it all just comes out. You can toast, avocado, salt, pepper, and there you go.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm excited and a little nervous. Like anyone who's ever watched a cooking show, I have a healthy fear of Gordon Ramsay. I've seen this done. I've never tried it, but I'm excited to start. So let's get started. We're going to crack 2 eggs into a bowl. These are such beautiful eggs. Waking up happens every morning. It's inevitable. It's terrifying. It's exhilarating. Sometimes, actually often, lately, and I said lately this whole year, I've gone to bed with a lot of fear about what's going to happen tomorrow, what I won't understand, what I'll understand all too well. I think I'm not alone in this. I know I need help. So let's do something for a moment. Can you take a second and think about a prayer? Make a prayer for the morning tomorrow. Can you put it in the chat? Oh, wait a second. Well, come and look. See. Do we have any prayers in the chat? Any prayers in the chat? All right. Oh. I think of a word like peaceful, like cool as a cucumber. That's amazing. That's amazing. We'll do that first. All right. In the bowl we go. Oh, there is a debate. I assume it's millennia old over whether one should crack their egg on the counter, like I just did, or on the side of the bowl. If you crack it on the side of the bowl, you're probably going to mess up the yolk, but that doesn't matter so much with scrambled eggs. If you crack it on the counter, you're much less likely to get shell in the bowl. So that's amazing. All right. Do we have a prayer for the second egg? Back. All right. A peaceful, oh, yeah, hashtag crack on bowl. All right. What team are, oh, okay. All right. I see. Everyone's on team crack on bowl, so I'll have to do that next. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. All right. How can we choose anything different? We're going to go with that. All right. You know what? Say it with me. We should all use a little more Friday Night Lights in our life. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Crack it on the bowl. All right. Miraculously, no shell in the bowl. So let's get to the next step. When you are beating the eggs, I like to use a fork. You can use an egg beater. You can use whatever you want. Keep a firm grip on the bowl. You might want to tilt it a little bit so you can build some momentum. Have no fear. They should get all frothy. They should get a little bubbly. Oh, and Jared wanted us to put some cream in there, so I'm just going to pour a little cream in there. No worries if you don't have any. Still going to be light and fluffy and yummy. Oh, and salt and pepper. Of course. We learned this last week. Don't be afraid with the salt. Look, something scientific happens where it goes away and only the flavor remains. And I am not a scientist. All right. So, pan, stove, just let it get a little hot. There it said keep it at a medium to low heat, I believe. All right, butter. Use as much as you want, okay? My great aunt, she did say use a tablespoon per egg. So I'm going to use a tablespoon per egg because that level of decadence feels good to me right now. Okay, so that's 2 tablespoons of butter. Oh, okay. Maybe regretting it a little bit, but we're just going to go with it. We're going to go with it. All right, while that is melting, I have a question. What came first, the morning or the night? I was just thinking about this. I have no idea what came first. What do you think? Like when we were evolving, did we just start in the middle of the day? Did everyone start at different times? Is that why everyone has a different preferred wake-up routine? Did the people who lasted the longest wake up the earliest? Did they sleep the latest? Yeah, I wonder. Okay, so remember what Jared said. We're going to do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and we're going to keep it moving the whole time. So if you are cooking with me, I would like you to count out loud with me. If you are not cooking with me, I would like you to count out loud with me, because why shouldn't we all count in unison from wherever we are? I know I'll feel it. I hope you'll all feel it. Woo! All right. Here we go. Okay. I'm just stalling a little bit because the butter's not fully melted yet, but we can leave a little butter floating in there. Yeah, that's no problem. Okay. All right. I could tell you the stakes aren't high, but... Oh. All right, it's in the pan. Go, go, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're counting to 30. 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right. So here's the thing. We're supposed to take it off the heat, but it feels like there are not any current. Okay, they're happening. All right. Okay. All right. Counting down from 30, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. I just had to take a breath in that whole time. You can count and breathe at the same time, Tessa. It is okay. Ooh, and we made it to 30. Wow. I didn't know if it was going to happen. If this was a different time and you were my studio audience, you would be freaking out right now. You would be on your feet, absolutely losing your minds. I don't know that you're not losing your minds. I assume you are. And honestly, the fact that counting exists and is fun and slightly dangerous, that's a wonderful reminder for me. Sometimes you can just sit around and count. There's no need to be bored. All right, so we've got these eggs. Oh, I should probably turn this off. Oops. All right, no problem here. Let's plate them. Okay, so we've got some really creamy eggs going on. I am going to bring them over on the plate because they'll look pretty on the blue plate with the yellow. That'll look lovely. Yeah, okay. I just want to show you. When people say low and slow eggs, this is what they mean, all right? Oh my God, it's sliding around. It doesn't look so good. It doesn't look so good on camera, but I promise you, oh, smells amazing. I think we're gonna have a super velvety, delicious texture. I'm ready to eat these. Oh, a little finishing salt. And thank you for this. Thank you for being here with me. I hope that these prayers in our system give us energy tomorrow. I hope that tomorrow our basic needs are met by a world that likes to dangle them in front of our face like a carrot. Jared, thank you for the recipe. Gordon, if I can call you Gordon, thank you. All right, let's try it. Ooh, I'm nervous. I'm excited. These are a little hot. Oh my God. These are amazing. Holy shit. Excuse me, they're like velvet. They're so wonderful. Oy. If you're having eggs, I hope you're loving them. And if you're loving them, I hope you let me know in the chat. We gotta move on to recipe number 2. But I think now is a good time to have some water. Do you have some water with you? Amazing. I'm filming this. I made these eggs. I wrote this piece. I wake up every morning on occupied Lenape and Canarsie land. If you're drinking water with me, please take a moment to think about where you're drinking water, who was there before, who remains, and how we can build more energy for the future work. Because there is always work to do. That is why we wake up in the morning. There's so much to learn, so much to fight for. It is a great privilege to rise. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping. That's why it's harder to rise. I don't have an answer for that. I'm not an expert. I have spoken to experts. They might say, turn off your phone, stretch a little bit. Let's stretch for a second. Let's just do 2 stretches. No one can see you. My friend sent me a video that I thought was amazing, and it said something incredible that happens when people are sharing a moment. It said that our hearts start beating at the same time, at the same pace. I don't know, I think that's happening right now. Yeah. All right, let's move on to recipe number 2. Here we go.
Okay. Okay, my dad like taught how to make scrambled eggs. So it was like, we used a fork, butter, fork, and then you like would pull in from the sides as it kind of, you know, cooked. Pull in from the sides. I'm kind of like, go fast and go home. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, golden, but I think that's also kind of my personality. It's just like,
All right. A fork. All right. Let's hit up the fork option. We're going to crack 2 eggs in a bowl again. Now I'd love for you to think about something that brings you joy in the morning. All right? Show me in the chat. All right. Blue sky and iced coffee. Coffee too hot to drink. Blue sky and coffee too hot to drink. Blue sky and coffee too hot to drink. Blue sky and coffee too hot to drink. All right. All right. Let's get some salt in there. Okay, very important thing. My grandmother always told me, you've got to hold the handle. All right? Hold the handle while you're making eggs. Okay, we've got some fork action going on. Oh, you know what? It's just acting like a regular spatula. I don't know what I thought was going to happen. I kind of thought it was going to be strange. But the curds are curding. The fork is respecting the curd. You've got to respect the curd. Like I want to show you. Here I am coming over here. I want to show you. It's just like a regular thing. All right, let's get this back on the heat though. So I can tell already that these eggs are going to be a little harder, and that's not an issue. I say that now, actually. Maybe I'm moving them too much. I get the sense that these eggs want to take a moment and just chill. Yeah, I was so right. I was so right. I can't believe how right I was. On high heat, eggs cook really fast. Wow. Okay, so these eggs, according to me, are done. Yeah, a little harder. We're going to use the fork to take them out. All right, let's try them. Thank you, Nora. Okay, if the last eggs were a cloud, these eggs are a field. They're much denser, but not in a bad way. It's like life exists within them. Life grows from them. Damn! These eggs are a little miracle. Little miracles. It's a miracle that every morning, no matter what, you will wake up. And you won't wake up alone. Because around you, so many others are opening their eyes. All around the world. How amazing is that? You'll wake up, you'll open your eyes, maybe you'll stretch a little bit. That is using your body. That's your body in motion. And then maybe you'll see a little piece of paper on the floor and you'll make plans to pick it up later. That's your brain in action, baby. Maybe you'll lie on the ground and listen to some music and stretch out in the sun, and that nourishes your soul. You've done it all. You've hit the trifecta and you've only just woken up. I love being here with you. I miss sleepovers. I miss making eggs for someone in the morning and they come in just like a little half asleep and they say hi and I say, do you want some eggs? And they say, can I help? And I say, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. I could do this forever with you. I could do this forever with you. I could do this forever with you, but I gotta get ready for bed because I gotta wake up tomorrow. And so do you. You can do it. And you will do it. I love you. And miss you. Good night.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we are. Seamless transition. Oh gosh. Bento box, what are you figuring out?
Just unmuting.
Just unmuting. I'm just unmuting. Hello. How's it
Hi.
going?
Good.
You're my co-host.
So glad to be here.
It's so great to have you. Well, that was our first cold open. And
How
it
do you feel
wasn't
about
very
it?
cold, was it? It was a bunch of hot eggs.
Mm.
Speaking of hot eggs, I'm just going to jump right into some content because this month we've been doing Exponential Festival, everything on out of an abundance of caution. For anyone who's confused about the millions of projects that I work on and where they intersect, stay confused, suckers. But I've been doing very quick 3-word descriptions of the shows that I saw this week. So are you buckled in? All right. So on Tuesday, and these are all still up on the Exponential YouTube, so you can watch them at any time, and people have been doing that. My mom just sent me a message saying that she tuned in for Salome Agus's, which was last Tuesday. So last Tuesday was 3 shows, and it was quite a night. Conduit by Ivy Castellanos and Amanda Hunt. I described immediately after. I keep trying to not edit myself later. Immediately after is connected, oozing, and dismantling. Then after Ivy and Amanda was Zerciendo Retazos by Salome Egas. It was revealing, healing, and marinated. Then right after that was Reckoning, all caps, by Psychic Wormhole, which is a group that consists of Stacey Lynn Smith and Alex Romagna. And that one I described as pulsing, visceral, and immense. It was the best Tuesday I've had in ages. Then on Thursday was Lucky Star Superstar by Pioneers Go East Collective. And I could do a whole monologue about it, but I'm not. 3 words, effervescent, soul-filling, that's hyphenated, and gorgeous with like 27 O's.
Bellissimo.
I loved it so much. And then on Friday, it was 2 shows. It was How to Sing, a Survival Guide by Chris Ignacio, which I describe as iconic, all caps. Catchy as hell, hyphenated. And Tinder.
It sounded like you said Tinder, not tender.
Listen, if Chris was interested in anything I had to offer, I'd be like, hello. Because Chris is so wonderful, but not interested in any of this, and that's okay. You know what I mean? We'll get to that later. After Chris Ignacio was Darian Deshawn, who we all know and love. You were in Exponential year 1 at the Brick with Darian. And he did Liftoff, which I described as, again, hyphenated, Albert Brooks in space. That's one. Fun, 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 1 word. And wigs, all caps. Then last night was Animal Empire by Yuji Low. It was hyphenated, sweetly disturbing, mellifluous, and striking. I am now a giant Yuji Low head. Deal with it. Then after that was Yakez, who I just love so much. Hyphenated, definitely vibey, enchanting, and multi-worldly. And then today, which I haven't even had time to process, so I'm going to put this into next week's, was Tessa Barlow-Ochshorn's How to Wake Up, ! Which we just saw the end of now live. So I'll give that 3 words next week. So that's my review.
You know, Theresa, as you were doing that, it was just so exciting to hear your words and then let them inform my body.
I could feel it. I could feel what you were doing from in here to in here, feeling those words. I chose them very specifically. Speaking of specifically chosen words, we have 2 very hot top 10 lists that we're going to share with people to get some conversation cracking. So do you want to start us off on our first one? Comment in the chat if you have feelings about what we're about to go into.
Comment in the chat. It's true. The word, when you said tender and I heard Tinder, it was perhaps my mind doing tricks on me. So Theresa and I thought about what are some like red flags when you are dating a person. So, and in the spirit of our time, we thought we would do a top 10 list. So the 10th thing is when close friends explicitly say don't date them. That would be a red flag. Another red flag for me, certainly, monolinguals. Kind of a bummer, you know. Haven't you tried? Just try. Okay. Phone mailbox is not set up and or is totally full. Just a bit of a red flag. Not something I'm more into a mailbox being full because I don't check my voicemail, but I'm really not into the voicemail not being set up. That seems like a red flag. Theresa, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not a number one or even a top 5 red flag, but it's one that like makes you pause and say, well, why though? And if you have the time to ask yourself why though, and you go down that path, then you might find some revealing things about other aspects of their humanness, which we're all human. But like that can be a red flag that then reveals a forest of other red flags.
Absolutely. It's perhaps the revealing tip of the iceberg. Doesn't ask questions. There are some very attractive people that do not ask questions, and that is a red flag. Bragging about not having a bank account, that's a flag, and it's red. Only drinks Fiji water. I have no personal experience on that one.
Clearly. Listen, if somebody only drinks one thing, and and some people might say, I only drink whiskey. It's not true. I also drink rye. You know?
Exactly.
I drink every flavor of Mountain Dew.
There was a productivity thing that was Malcolm Gladwell, he only drinks 5 things. And I had a crush on Malcolm Gladwell. And as soon as I heard that, I thought, red flag.
Yeah. Never going to happen, Malcolm.
Just let yourself drink lots of things. When a person is not Googleable, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I put myself in these camps. So red flag applies to musicians, composers, actors, painters, data scientists. Don't identify as a data scientist. I hope I'm not offending all of the wonderful artists in our house, but
you're just making it clear that like some forms of artistry are a red flag for relationships.
True.
For relationships.
True.
Not in life, but just in.
Exactly. Just beware. Proceed with caution would be the flag that is waving. As someone who identifies as a writer and actor, okay, does not have a bed frame. That's a big one.
Yeah, and I get that, but I've also definitely hooked up with people that like sleep on cardboard. So it just depends on other things in combination with that. But
would you do a no bed frame and a no voicemail?
I could imagine that, but I could not imagine no bed frame, only Fiji water.
Interesting.
No.
Interesting. Theresa, you I would be interested to hear what the number one.
Number one, and listen, I think that we can all agree on this. And so I'm going to say it in all caps. Anyone who says, "Can I sing you a song on the first date?" No, thanks. No, thanks. No, thanks. Just like, don't sing me. Don't offer it. Don't do it.
There's no good response to that. You either say no and you're a jerk for not wanting to hear the song, or you say yes and then you become the jerk by being like, even if the song is great.
Yeah, even if it was Gaga with, in a parking lot and I'm Bradley Cooper, which I imagine all the time. But like, that's not on a first date. Not on a first.
Song's request is totally different. Song's request is the way to do it.
Oh, if somebody told me to sing Bryan Adams on a first date, I'd do it.
Oh yeah. Or if it's like a you do this, I'm gonna do, like if it's like co-conspired. But I think what
you're saying is read the room.
And with that,
you got to read the room.
You got to read the room.
Do it. So let's bring on our first interview. Let's read this room. I'm very excited because we have a couple of interviews tonight with artists that are coming up this week in the Exponential Festival. And it's a very exciting week, which I'll give a recap at the very end, but you can also just look at the exponentialfestival.org or go to the YouTube page and it's all lined up there waiting for you. But yes, our first interview is with Wi-Moto Nyoka, who is doing a piece that I'm so excited about. So let's welcome Wi-Moto.
Hello, thank you for having me. Great to be here
It's so good to have you here.
in virtual Landia.
I know. Someday it'll be in real Landia.
Or VR. We'll just extend.
Oh, yeah.
It'll just be in a VR thing.
So, let's get right into this, because when I first read about your project, I was like, yes, tell me more. So for those of the wide viewing audience that don't know you, what is the project and where did the idea start?
Yeah, so when Then I Wake Up is just another horror project of mine, because that's what I specialize in, horror and sci-fi. And I'm going to actually start with like how it came to be. And then you can tell me what this project is. So I wrote a short story. I was on this kick where I was like, I'm writing short stories and I'm going to get published. So I just banged out a bunch. And one of them is called And Then I Wake Up. And I have a podcast where I produce short stories, like horror short stories written by BIPOC authors. And that podcast is called Black Women Are Scary. And in October, we produced this particular story and aired it. So it's one of our episodes. And I just sort of wanted to like keep going with the world. So when this particular opportunity rolled around to apply for this, I was like, I really want to take this episode that we produced, which is an audio work, and like put visuals to it, but I don't want to animate the story at all. So in comes Tommy Mavra, who did about 7 paintings based on the story. And then Oscar de Leon, who I met at the Official Latino Short Film Festival. And he also makes horror films and experimental films. And I was like, just take these paintings and this soundtrack here and do some stuff. And so that's what it is. It's all those things coming together. I'd also like to say that Oscar lives in Fargo. So like the shots that he got are like in these like empty, amazing spaces in North Dakota. So it's like a real kind of trippy thing. I think at the end of the day, I was just like, I just want to make something where you can like zone out and kind of like meditate and think about nightmares and what kind of role they play in your sleep pattern. And I wanted to make a zone out thing. Like you're kind of hearing the story and you're sort of looking at but it's not like exactly what you're hearing. It's not a movie.
I love that. Adapting something, but not into a form that already exists. Like, that's so exciting. And I love the idea of zoning out to nightmares.
Yeah, I know that sounds kind of like a strange thing to do, but the whole story anyway is a meditation on just sleep and what is the role of nightmares, and nightmares maybe being a great thing. Or at least a necessary thing. So yeah, there's so much great content, and there's so much content that I was like, well, I can't compete with any of that, but let's like do these other visual forms and mesh them all together and actually make something where you like can just kind of go into a trance. It's kind of a strange, rather than like demanding all of your attention, which I feel like a lot of things are doing right now.
Well, and I love the coming together. There is so much content, but there's no content created by the group of you, of Tommy, Oscar, you, and then Elinor T. Vanderburg.
Yes.
Who we all love and we'll see later.
And then Nirana, who's the sound designer. I'd like to give a shout out to her.
Yeah. Always shout out the sound designer. Sound designers bring like all of those component parts together. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, the uniqueness of that collaboration doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, it's exciting, and it's going to exist here on Saturday at 8:30
Eastern. For those of you in Fargo, remember it's 8:30 Eastern. Eliza, bento box. You want to do our capper question, our put a button on it, bow on it question?
Absolutely. How would you describe the project in 3 words?
Yes, I thought about that, and I decided the 3 words are spooky black ladies.
Those
Yes.
are perfect. But now I really want to hear like what your most recent nightmare was.
Right. Oh my gosh. It was last night. Do you ever have those dreams? They're not really nightmares. They're like anxiety dreams. Like you just sort of wake up like nervous about something, or I don't know. It's like deeply uncomfortable, but not necessarily scared. You actually have to stay awake for a while, and then it like kind of grows on you. I had one of those, and I feel like typically when you got those dreams, you never really remember exactly what happened. It's just like a vibe or something. And then what you do remember is really boring. Like someone kept like taking staplers out, but for some reason that was like really, I don't know, like tense. I had one of those last night, like just last night.
Wow.
Right.
I had one of those 2 days ago, and I also have so many like weird Christian nightmare dreams of like torture and stuff. Like,
are you on a cross? Like it's like,
well, it's basically because I grew up watching like a lot of Christian videos, or like people getting burned at the stake and crucified and tortured.
yeah.
So I grew up in
I
one
know
of
this.
those, you know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when I lived in the South Bronx, they do, and in a lot of Latin America, they do they reenact it. So they were doing that like right around the corner. Like everybody was dressed as Romans. He came out with the thing on the cross on his back.
The most of the theater I saw growing up was like, who crucifies hot Jesus the best?
How is that not a reality television show?
Oh my goodness. Yes.
On Bravo.
Let's work on this. So once this airs at 8:30 Eastern on Saturday, the 30th of January, let's do this project, Wi-Moto. I'd be totally down.
Okay.
Reality show who crucified hot Jesus the best.
Yeah, we'll have like Freudian slips like that, and it'll be great. They'll be like bleeped out. We'll be famous because there's gonna be so many people that are offended by this. Like it's gonna be scandalous.
Well, you know what? It was scandalous that we were shown this as children.
Yeah, I don't really know what the logic. I don't know. We like scaring kids. What can I say? I think about all those like Grimm's fairy tales. Fear is such a part of learning. I guess.
I mean, I do love scaring kids. I must admit.
Yeah, when you like hide and then you're like, bah, and you like really get them.
It's so
like
good.
a little like cousin or niece or like. I mean, I think I did that to my younger brother all the time. So.
Oh my goodness, yeah. We'll go to our next interview, but I will say, I used to lock my brother in his closet, and he was afraid that Morlocks were in there from the time machine. And the elders of our church had to pray over his closet because he was so scared of the Morlocks.
You did that. Did he ever forgive you?
I think so, but it's hard to tell if he's just like long gaming me. You know what I mean?
That's like a great story right there. That's like a movie where like the brother long games, and then convinces the sister the Morlocks are real, and like kind of like drives her crazy.
You know what I did? I'm ready for it, and I deserve it. Wi-Moto, I could do this all night. But we can't because we got to keep the show on the road.
True. Someone else is coming up behind. Is that planet Earth behind you? Just real quick.
Oh, that's this is the moon. I'm so thrown off because StreamYard switches things. This is the moon.
It looks like you're fondling it from this angle.
I love the moon.
Yeah.
We've been together for 8 years on this moon. So All right. Well, everyone tune in 8:30 Eastern, Saturday, January 30th. It will be incredible. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Come and, maybe be under the influence a little bit and zone out.
I'll be there.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. All right. Next up, we're going to keep Eliza, I told you to tell me if I was being too loquacious. And I feel like I might have gone into a loquation zone.
But Theresa, I love your loquations. I could ride those loquations. Also, look at your amazing outfit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I should have dressed. I am wearing full cashmere.
Oh, I am not. This is synthetic for days.
This is definitely not cashmere, but it could be. It's soft enough that it could be.
I feel like I could touch it and believe it. So up next we have Ellpetha and Camilo. Join us. I'm also getting a text. I have so many devices open.
Theresa, you're a star responder. Hi.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Welcome. Ooh, am I echoing? There we go. That sounds good. Oh, you both look great.
Thank you.
We got Gus up.
It's a party.
Always. Well, welcome, Ellpetha. Welcome, Camilo. Do you know Eliza?
I mean, I don't think we've met in person, but we also haven't really met anyone in person in the past year. So,
other than me.
Yeah, we did
That's
meet
true.
you.
Yeah.
I know. As I said it, I was like, well, there's like two, kind of.
Ooh. I'm in a top 2. I've just decided. The top 2 people that you've met in the last year. And there are 2 of us. So welcome. Your show is Friday. And I'm so excited. It's Night Descends on Svalbard. And it was partially filmed at the Brick, which is super exciting. And it's also at 8:30 Eastern, but on Friday the 29th. So tell us a little bit about where this project originated and where it's come since then.
Okay, well, it originated because my parents both did DNA tests during like quarantine in like March or April. They did like 23andMe, and my mother's family is from Greece, but my father's from Cyprus, which is a tiny, crazy island. And we've been living in the same village for like thousands of years. So it was basically to prove if my father, he wanted to basically see if his family had been colonized by all of the colonizers. And we found out that he hadn't really been. So he was like 99.5% like West Asian and North African, specifically in Cyprus. And then he had this 0.5% Scandinavian, specifically from this island in Norway called Svalbard. So it was probably like hunter-gatherers that somehow got down there. So I love tiny islands. So I have like maps all over the house, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, also, if I'm going to be like white, I got like the coolest part. I've got like some crazy old Vikings from like this weird island in Northern Europe. So I started to look into Svalbard, and its big claim to fame is that there's an international seed bank there where all of the world's seeds are kept in the permafrost in case of a global disaster. So even cooler. I was like, man, this is so cool.
Very Scandinavian.
Yeah, and I always loved like how efficient Northern Europeans are. They're like, anytime I'm in Northern Europe, I'm like, God, they're so efficient. Like everything is so practical, and like it's very different than where I'm from, which is very slow. So all of that to say, it was like in the depth of quarantine, back in the spring. And then I think we had the idea after you had mentioned the Exponential Festival to us in August. And I was like, I think that's right around when we had gotten the results. And we had been really thinking about isolation. I mean, even right now, it's different than it was in March, April, and May. Like things are open, like you can walk outside. But in like March, April, and May, it was like COVID was like coming in through the windows, and it was terrifying to like leave your house. So anyway, this show is kind of about all of those feelings. We also later, my father's results adjusted, and he's not actually from there. So it just says 100% Cypriot now. So, which is like what my friend is a geneticist, and she said that like geneticists geek out over small isolated communities. And so like these companies don't have a lot of DNA from like Cypriots or indigenous Cypriot. So like, basically, when my little brother did his test, it changed my father's results to being 100% Cypriot. So the show, though, is about two research scientists and an artist in residence at the Svalbard Seed Bank. And they had planned to be there and contractually were supposed to be there for the summer season, which has 24 hours of sunlight. And on the day of their extraction, they find out that a strange disease has struck and they have to stay. And so they have to stay there, which isn't like as bad as it sounds, except for it's the season of darkness that's beginning. So just like we have 24 hours of day, they will have the opposite. And so these three people are stuck in the Arctic. They're away from this, which, is kind of the pandemic. They're away from it and they're safe from it, but they're stuck in the dark through the depths of winter. And it's about that. But the way that it's evolved, and it's like not super gloomy or depressing.
Not
it's
at
really
all.
it's
Yeah.
really beautiful, because I think a lot of the time, I mean, like definitely would never opt to have a pandemic again in my life, and I'm happy for the day this is over. But there's like a lot of lessons we learned. Like now we're in like this weird in between, but like it's like this. There's beauty in the isolation, and there's beauty in kind of the darkness of it all. And so the show is kind of an exploration in that. But the cool thing about it, the way it's evolved, is it was going to be just Camilo and I. He's, of course, the artist in residence. He's a poet.
Which we found out they actually do have.
We made it
which
as
we
a
thought
joke.
It was a joke.
Yes.
But they do, in fact, have artists in residence there.
At the Svalbard Seed Bank,
Yeah.
they do, yeah. So he's a poet, and we have our friend who's an incredible performer, Michelle Yanowitz, in it. And we decided that we wanted to all speak different languages. So
there are 4 languages in the piece.
I guess there are 5 if you include a tiny bit of English.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's Spanish, which is definitely like
the most recognizable.
And then my lines are not in Greek; they're in Cypriot, which is a dialect of Greek, and it's not written. So it's like just something I'm passionate about, like documenting it through art, because even in Cyprus, when they do stuff, they speak in Greek, which is kind of the equivalent of us speaking in British when we're going to do something instead of just speaking American. So mine's all in Cypriot, which was really fun to do. And then Michelle doesn't speak another language.
Well, she does.
But her grandparents spoke Yiddish. And so she speaks Yiddish-inspired gibberish. So
It's
all
actually the native language of the city of Dictionopolis is what she speaks.
is that what she said?
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Okay,
'cause I
you
read
made it up.
Yeah.
So she speaks in gibberish. And then we have a character who zoomed in, who's speaking in German. He's a friend of mine in Germany. And then there are like 3 words of English in the whole thing. And so the whole thing is subtitled, which has caused quite the delay.
For our computer.
Yes, the file is gigantic, and like editing it has been a massive undertaking, but also like, just so you know, like it's not like Michelle's just speaking and there are words, like it's all like the syntax is correct. So she says something in gibberish and the words underneath it line up syllabically with what she is saying. And yeah.
And so do the captions now.
Yes, and so do the captions. So so it's about, I think, like 17 or 18 minutes long. There's some music in it, some song. There's some dance.
It features the moon, which you can see behind you.
Yes, that moon was actually a
star.
A star. Like it couldn't have been more perfect. We filmed at the Brick, which was really fun. It was like a really cool, like it was like we had a sound studio but a theater, and we worked with the theatrical lighting, which was so awesome. It makes the shots like so cinematic but also theatrical.
We gotta shout out Nick Adams for that. Nick Adams in the booth for that.
He was so amazing. He was really funny. After the show, he turned to Camilo.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, you guys work together a lot, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" He was like, "Well, I just like wasn't talking. He just like kind of moving from one thing to the next, kind of just like from bit to bit, kind of shoot that, and just kind of doing the next thing." I was like, "Yeah, I guess so. I don't notice at this point."
Yeah. We shot it over 2 days while the Capitol was being stormed.
Yes.
Which really put a real, it's like, why? Why are we doing this? You know, this is crazy. We're like, Michelle's like speaking in gibberish in a lab coat, and we're like getting these alerts on our phone, and like, I'm like, okay, like, we just have to do this today because like we can't do this another day, and we're all here, but also like yes, I'm like, oh my God, like we're sitting there and like
getting updates.
Yeah, we're like, you know, we all know what happened. So it was really a really strange exercise in like focus. And it also put a really interesting, I think, tone there. I mean, there was a melancholy tone to a lot of it. And there's a garbage truck outside. I don't know if everyone can hear that. But, anyway, so it was interesting, and it was definitely interesting to do that while that was happening, and just kind of be like, okay, that matters and this matters, but how much does this matter? And then we're like, it doesn't matter how much it matters. We just have to do this.
Yeah. Well, it's not dissimilar from saying like potentially this piece wouldn't exist if we weren't in a pandemic and you hadn't gotten these results about your father, and we hadn't asked you to do exponential. Like there are always circumstances under which artists are making art, and the particulars of yours, and it was affected, and it does matter because it affected what you were doing, but the audience might not perceive it. But, in 50 years, people will be like, did you know that on the day Nicholson's on Svalbard was
Well, I think it was like, there's this part where Camilo is playing guitar, and we had never talked about me singing, but he was playing it, and it was Michelle had left the day, and Nick was there, who he was so good at kind of being invisible, like, and just totally there, and we needed him, but like not there when we were doing like intimate moments. And so Camilo was playing the guitar, and I just like kind of started like crying a little bit. I was like, whoa, like in this room with like the moon glowing, and it was like the pitch black, and it was like after 2 days of just insane headlines where like I didn't even have the time to explore any of them, you know, until like we'd get home at night, and I just started singing this completely made up melody, and it ended up, I mean, it's very, I think all of it, everything that was happening is there in that. It became very, very important to the final edit of the show.
Yes. Well, I feel like now is a good moment to say, like, how do we encase this show? And I'm stealing Eliza's question. Eliza, do you want to say the words?
Do it, Theresa. Do it.
What are 3 words? Don't use any English. What are 3 words to describe your show?
Okay, hold on. So the non-English words, which ones do you want to use? What? Okay. Do you know how to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Sombra.
Fengari.
Yes. I cannot wait for this show. I feel like
me too.
So it's funny, but it's serious, and it's really pretty.
Those were 3 English words right there. But we have a beautiful mix. It's a soup.
That's something, yeah.
Yeah, those weren't the same words we just said.
No.
Oh no, I know.
if you recall, Eliza is not into monolinguists.
I'm not
I
monolingual.
heard earlier. Yeah. So you're into polyglots.
I have some. That's the only poly I'm into is a polyglot. I have some very unpopular opinions that I chose to share this evening.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you both so much. Reminder, 8:30 Friday. You can catch the show, and then after that as well, because it'll stay up on the YouTube. So check it out. Join us in the chat, and it will be great. And next up, we're going to go straight into another interview. It's pre-recorded between Sanaz Ghajar and Elinor T. Vanderburg, and they're going to talk to each other. They both have shows coming up this week. Interporter is Sanaz's show, 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And at 8 o'clock on Saturday is Elinor's show with the Underlords, which is more than just Elinor, Bloodshot the Call. So we're going to see them talk to each other for a second. Magic.
Hi. We're recording. Hello. Sanaz.
Elinor Vanderburg.
Elinor? Who's that?
Ellie.
Yeah. Hi. How's it going, buddy?
You're in my phone as Elinor just because I think it looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Gosh, I mean, it is in my email and my signature. I confuse a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It isn't that deep.
This is what's happening. And we are both in the Exponential Festival this week, which is very exciting. Boom.
Thrilled. I've had a great time watching the festival this month. It's been fantastic. It's been such a great thing to look forward to. I'm having a blast.
Oh yeah, I think that some of the work that I saw was like things that I have always wanted to see on a television, but will never experience in the ways that I can access television until now. So yeah, I'm not even trying to be nice. That's just it's really experimental. It's really pushing some boundaries, and that is really exciting to see in a digital platform on my couch when I'm mostly not wearing pants. So
yeah. Oh, I know. No, I know. I mean, it's it's going to be the type of thing where I get back into a theater one day and, a dog eats my pants on the way, but I'm like, the show starts in 3 minutes. I can't get new pants. I have to go. And I'm going to have that same cathartic experience. I'm going to realize, it was never even about the digital space. It was just about the pants.
And I try to like lie on the audience. Like, isn't this is okay? This is appropriate.
Yeah. Someone's like, oh.
I have a neck thing, so I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna do this.
It's great. Yeah, I know. I'm excited to be in a week with you, and I'm also excited to be working with you. But
yes, this is what's happening.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you're my dream team.
You're my dream human.
Oh.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's like give the audience something to hold on to. That's so like directorial. Ellie, can you write the thing that's in the thing that we hold?
But later. First, why don't you tell me about your show? When it's airing?
Okay, so enter Porter, January 27th at 9 p.m. Text by the marvelous Jessica Almacy, composed by the oh so fabulous Chad Rains, and shot and edited by myself and Dave Tennant. It's something like a photo essay that could also be considered like a sort of like a study on the objectification of objects. So it's like partially moving and partially still, and sort of is born from this idea that Jess and I had a long time ago in relationship to the Porter from Macbeth, which sort of was like the seedling of what generated much of the initial text ideas that were then like hacked and reassessed and recomposed. So like the sort of subtitle-y thing is a poor adaptation of Macbeth about being drunk and in love. And if you can somehow gather that from what you see, that would be impressive and exciting for me. Because right now I don't have any sort of like objective point of view of what the story is, although we try to infuse some idea of a narrative, which is always interesting and exciting for me to do. So it's quick, it's fun. Chad's music is wild. Jessica's text is beautiful, and Admiral Gray is the voice you'll hear alongside Chad, which like magical human also, as well as Jaylene Rains, who's Chad's daughter, which is so cool. So it's like a whole family affair. But yeah, that's what's happening.
That's a thrill.
Yeah, that's like we're excited.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yes,
I'm very excited about that. You are someone who I feel like Shakespeare would be very proud and excited to know you based on what I have seen you do with his text in the past.
I love the man. I love him. Like there is a soft spot in my heart for like him. Like I feel like we're cut from the same cloth, but he just can write and I am the pentameter in a way that I never will. But just in terms of like his humanist approach and like actually he was really weird. Like the work that he was making was really weird. And we've dumbed it down to this traditional idea of like the time. But what he was writing was totally rebellious and rambunctious and other R words. But now I'm going to flip it back to you because Ellie, you have something happening this year, this week on the X Fest YouTube site. Tell us more about it.
We do. Well, the 30th, January 30th is going to be a big night for this one. The one that I am helming and working on as we speak is called Bloodshot the Call, which is a sequel to, it's like a sequel fanfic kind of part 2 / further exploration into the world of Bloodshot, which debuted at the 2020 Exponential Festival, which was basically the last time I was in a theater. Which told the story of a sleeplessness epidemic that caused everyone to burst due to anxiety and other reasons. And it closed February 1st, and then 6 weeks later, we were here on Zoom forever.
There's like a strange prophetic nature to the Bloodshot episode 1 and 2, maybe.
Whoops. But the whole band's back together. And by the whole band's back together, what I really mean is that Sanaz is directing it again. Sanaz is back at the helm. We've got our beautiful cast back together as well. Oh my goodness, Morgan McGuire, Christina Pitter, Fedley Daniel, Ben Holbrook, Cashton Tate Recklow, Ray Johnson, Mariana Hoytlang, Grace Trainer, Soren Stockman, and Kat Norton, who's hopping in as well. The moms are back composing music for it and playing hardcore. And because it's a film affair, we've even got the extended family and everything, all the behind the scenes folk that were like, there in the audience and stuff that are also making the film happen. So it's kind of, it's a funny thing because Bloodshot, OG Bloodshot was started writing that one in 2015 actually. And it was a script that would come back after a couple of months and everything, and definitely sort of built on itself until it landed at where it was. But Bloodshot, the call was written, it was written since March 2020. So it's just interesting to consider kind of what has happened in the world in those times. And I do feel like they're very linked. And I think that it's definitely fair to say that this is kind of a check-in on like, all right, it's been a year. So how are we doing? How are we all doing? Heard that this one's darker than the first one, which...
I'll attest to that.
Yeah. You be the judge, but come and check it out. It's at 8 p.m. on Saturday, a week from today. Saturday, a week from
tomorrow. Less than a week from the
it's
moment.
Less than a week. Just sit in front of your computer at 8 p.m. for the next however many days so that you don't miss it. And then I'm very proud to be a part of Wi-Moto Nyoka's And Then I Wake Up. I did the voiceover work for the podcast of Black Women Are Scary for that episode. And it's an incredible horror story that she penned. So happy to be a part of that. And we're really excited because it is going to be accompanied with beautiful visuals from Tommy. So not like Tommy the musical, Tommy Marva, I believe.
Great.
I'm pronouncing your name right. Very apologies if not. But I'm thrilled to be a part of that on that double bill. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
I have one question that I want to throw your way, just overall, which is my personal snack of choice during these experiences, which has been a delightful thing for me to be able to just eat all the time while I'm like watching, has been the lesser than evil no cheese popcorn. Yeah, it's wildly good. And I don't know, I just like, it's got that popcorn, I've got that popcorn vibe going this winter. Is there anything that you enjoy snacking on while watching X Fest unfold?
Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. If I'm being honest, I'm
like, unless you're too focused to like eat snacks and then that's my
No, I mean, what keeps happening is that I'll be like, this is about the dinner hour. I'll bring my laptop over and maybe, I'll be watching the dinner never gets made at that point. So what I'm snacking on tends to be a LaCroix of some flavor, a LaCroix of some ilk. Talking about seltzer, people. Yeah. And, that's my beverage of choice. And it's really nice because they're in my house and, I love an experience. And typically when I go to a theater, I'll be like, of course I'm going to get a drink. And so then $65 later, I've had a drink, one, and it's just better this way. It's just better this way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my snack of choice. I could do better, but
No, you can't. You're the best.
doing better requires advanced planning, and I'm bad at that.
I mean, we could all do better, but we could all do worse. So let's
We
just commit.
could. We could all do worse. That's true.
Amazing. Okay, so on that note, I'll see you at the X Fest site this week, every day pretty much. Woot.
Woot. Yeah. Team go. I'm still here. Are you still here?
Yeah, nice. I mean, where am I going?
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm gonna end it.
And now we're here. Whoa! Ow! Oh, somebody's holding a fork.
I'm nibbling.
Yes, I wasn't sure if it was just a prop like this tiny skull, or if it was being used. Oh, what's that?
A tiny penguin.
A tiny purple penguin.
Tiny purple penguin. I have an eraser. I have all kinds of oggetti. Ooh, where's that pig from?
This is a pig from Crest Hardware.
Oh, sure.
Because it's if you're ever lucky enough to get a key to the brick, it comes with a little pig.
Comes with a pig.
Because why not?
I mean, I hope I am someday lucky enough to have a key to the brick that I can use.
I hope for that too. I'll give you a little pig. All right, so Eliza, we're gonna do our second top 10 list, the green flags, so to balance out the red flags.
Yeah.
And then right after that, we just have two little tidbits left. We have a trailer for Panoply Performance Lab, who's doing Heidegger's Indiana on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm so excited. Panoply is, if you know Esther Neff, you love Esther Neff. I could spend every remaining second of my life with Esther Neff if that was possible. That's how much I regard Esther Neff.
That is a true ringing endorsement.
So there, after our top 10, it'll be a trailer for Heidegger's Indiana. And then after that will be an interview with the beloved and amazing Anabella Lenzu, and then a little preview for Anabella's show, which will precede Night Descends on Svalbard on Friday, right before Ellpetha and Camilo's show at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we'll get a lot of Anabella. We'll get a touch of Panoply Performance Lab. But before we do that, let's see what our green flags are.
I'm happy to do that. I just want to know, is the sequel to Heidegger's Indiana Nietzsche's North Dakota? I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. It's stronger than me.
No, it's true. Like, I could feel that needing to come out of you.
In fact, I wanted to say it when we spoke on the phone in preparation for today, but I was like, just calm down. You don't need to say that one. Just don't say it. But
no, you needed to say it, and it needed to be said. And I think that should be the sequel or the prequel, or a companion piece.
Chris Davis, South Carolina. Okay, enough. Stop.
Here's the guards, Kansas.
Woo! That's euphonious.
Oh boy.
I mean, I feel like this leads right into green flags. I feel like a major green flag is a sort of playfulness with language, which actually didn't make it onto our list. Nevertheless, polyglots is on there. I did see somebody in the chat hatefully put that they don't like polyglots. And I was like, that hurts.
Wow.
But we can unpack that another time.
Yeah, maybe they're negging you. Maybe that's they're like, Eliza might be into negging because we didn't put negging as a red flag.
What is negging?
Oh my God, Eliza, after this show, just Google negging and then go oh my gosh. It's when somebody is insulting to you. It's like Benedict and Beatrice, speaking of Shakespeare. It's like, I'm going to insult you and then you're going to like me.
I have Googled it. And by the way, Theresa, I did watch Bridgerton. We'll discuss. Lot on the table there.
Yeah, let's set up multiple Zooms. My eyes just became skulls thinking about it. Because yeah.
Okay, back to the list. Polyglots, defo. Playfulness with language for sure. Loving one's mother. That is a real green flag, I think. That's just oh my God, someone who has peace.
And for me, it's cashmere is so itchy, am I right? Oh. I feel like don't love your mom too much. Like Hitchcock, not Cog. Hitchcock, that's another thing. Taught us. But it we're not saying that it's a total red flag to not love your mother. You know what I mean? But it's a green flag if you do.
There you go. You put it perfectly. You put it perfectly. Having a job that earns money and also having a Roth IRA. I count that a green flag.
You know what? Listen, I'm drinking out of a plastic cup at a theater I'm trying to save in 2021. So it's just I clearly don't care about money too much. But
I'm just saying, if it's there, it's a green flag.
Yeah. If your job earns you money, then that could be helpful to you because money is helpful until it's not, which is a world that I hope to live to see. But right now, money can be helpful.
In the meantime. Yeah. Tender can buy you Fiji water, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Or Brussels sprouts, which I am eating.
Oh.
On the list is green eyes ? I actually don't know if green eyes are a green flag, but it just seemed like a fun thing.
Well, and I'd say that I work a lot in audiobooks, particularly the realm of erotica, and green and gray eyes are, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on Twitch, but they're the fuckable eyes. That's what people in erotic, not is this, put the kids to bed, Twitch. I don't know. I'm going to get kicked off of this show.
Wow, Theresa.
Somebody kick me off this show.
So delicious.
You can fuckable for sure, says Out of Caution. That's the mod. So the mod says it's okay.
Hey, yo.
I trust the mod. But anyway, yeah. So in erotica, green and gray eyes, which I've seen more green eyes in real life. Send me photos of gray eyes if you have them.
Ooh.
It's not contacts.
Just beautiful eyes.
Yeah. Just
beautiful eyes. That's a green flag. It can be any color of an eye. So long as it's, look at right there, those skull eyes. Knowing who Angela Merkel, Shinzo Abe, Mankind, and Ernest P. Worrell are. Theresa?
I love it. Well, it's pretty revealing probably who, which ones you put on the list and which ones I put on the list. But to me, it speaks to having a sort of knowledge of many different things. Spoiler, I put Mankind and Ernest P. Worrell. But if you don't, it's I also agree that you have to know your world leaders. You have to know, and it's not necessary because also I'd probably date someone who's never left their dwelling under a bridge at this point. But And if they live under a bridge, then they might not have the internet, and they might not know about Ernest P. Worrell. You know what I mean? But it helps. It's a green flag. Again, it's not a red flag to not know, but it's a green flag to know.
It's bonus. It's bonus. And it
who doesn't love a bonus?
Who doesn't love a bonus? Also, it goes into the territory of like all levels hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's not only one kind of hilarious. We like all hilarious. It's just bonus.
We like all hilarious. It's just bonus. Quote.
Just bonus. Plays an instrument for fun. I did not write that. Theresa, you're going to have to talk about that.
Okay, I'm going to justify this because I feel like, and I almost put plays a sport for fun or does anything for fun. Like,
oh my God, amateur interests. Big green flag.
I love it. I love it because then you're not trying to make every stupid thing your job. Right. You know, it's just like, don't make it your job. Don't make it your job.
Don't make it
make
your
your
job.
Your job. You know,
I'm a terrible cook.
I'm a terrible cook. Same, but I'm very good at a cold platter.
A cold platter, like a hummus?
Not just a hummus. That's why I'm good at it. I'll have you over one of these days, Eliza. You've been over.
I've never seen where you live.
No, do you remember when you came over when I lived in the East Village? And I had very little there, but I think I made a cold platter and had whiskey.
I believe the cold platter was the whiskey.
You might be right. It might have just been 2 cups with ice and some whiskey.
It was delicious, delicious whiskey. Demonstrating a kindness for the elderly and or grocery store workers. Major green flag. That's just like a good-hearted person does that.
Kindness in general, but especially kindness directed at people that like others can treat as invisible is what I'm
vulnerable.
You know, I love that. I love that. The next one is related to our red flags list because it's another list of types of people based on what they do. That these are green flags.
Yep. Choreographers, scientists, mathematicians, poets.
Poets, that you just added into the Google Doc.
I did. I felt like the arts were underrepresented, and I was suddenly feeling really shy about that list.
Well, math is an art. Science is an art.
True. And poetry is a science.
And anyone who says otherwise is a red flag.
Is a red flag. Oh my God, Theresa, how did I miss this? These are like the top 2 are yours, and they are so fucking good.
Oh,
not into gaslighting. Preach.
If you're not into gaslighting, I am so turned on by you.
This is a huge green flag if you're not into gaslighting. I think that might get you kicked off of Twitch, Theresa.
I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying.
Read books. Major green flag. That's my bookshelf over there.
Books for days.
Love a book.
I love.
All right, enough gabbing. Who's next?
So next up we have Panoply Performance Lab, a little trailer for now I'm trying to remember, like, is it Nietzsche? No, it's Heidegger's Indiana. Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then right after that is Anabella Lenzu, who is at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday night. All right, take it away.
Please understand resolution. I desire sacrifice, an absolution. You saw him take the path of least resistance. These ways of burning up inside define my base existence. Seize my arm and tell me now if you can change or disavow the very ways that brought us here and force my decision. Martin says the essence of history is a fight against nothingness. I say, why is there a fight at all? Let it take me. I am both responsible and at your mercy.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's so good to be getting to talk to Anabella Lenzu today. Anabella is doing a show as a second show with Exponential, having been one of very few people to get to perform inside of the Brick in 2020. And that feels even more special now
Yes.
than it did at the time. But it was super special then too.
That's why I'm in the Brick virtually now.
Yes, we have to tell people too that Anabella is not in fact hovering like a specter in the Brick. It is a very good virtual background. So your show this year is January 29th at 8 p.m. It's on an incredible night shared with Ellpetha and Camilo doing their show Night Descends on Svalbard. Both of your titles, and this was not intentional,
I know,
paired you together,
yes,
have the word night in it. But yours is the night that you stopped acting. So to get us started, talk a little bit about where the original idea for the piece came, and then we'll transition that into talking about how the piece had to evolve from a live performance to a recorded performance.
Sure. So thank you, Teresa. Thank you for having me again at the Exponential. You know, it's in my neighborhood. I live in Williamsburg, and so, you know, I feel you close to my heart. You know, I wish I could be there. So the night that stopped acting started like 3 years ago, believe it or not. You know, the pandemic extended things. And this title came from a song of Fito Páez. And Fito Páez is one of the most pop rock and roll, you know, artists in Argentina. And I grew up listening to his songs and compositions as well as another. So when I started to choreograph this show, supposed to be a live show, supposed to be premiere a la Mama in June 6, 2020, you know, I was like, what are the music that really inspire me, that made me who I am? You know, now I'm 45, but this music I hear when I have, you know, 20, 18, you know, and it's something about identity that these lyrics, these songs, this rock and roll, heavy metal, you know, that I love. And not many people knows about that, you know, about myself. I used to have my punk hair, you know, in some part. So the night I stopped acting is in a way, two different ways. It's an homage to the song, but it's also to me to encounter myself coming back to the stage, you know, the last couple of years. Why perform again? And what it means acting for me? What is the word acting? What is the way performing if it's not peeling layers to see who you are? You know, to self-knowledge. So that's what the title come from. The fact that it could not be in premiere, you know, and I was in gestation for 2 years, and I'm like, what I'm gonna do with this? So I talked with my collaborators, Daniel Petro, my director, and Naoko Maishieva, my dramaturg. After working for so long, I'm like, I'm gonna do the show anyhow, and thank God that I have my amazing husband, Todd Carroll, who's a photographer and also a filmmaker. And I say, I'm going to make this a show. So we extended the line. Instead to be June 6th, it was the end of June. And I say, and I'm going to record it in my apartment. But I don't want to show my apartment. As we was talking with Teresa, I love theater. So I don't want to show you my dirty bathroom or living room or kitchen. So literally I need to move all my furniture with my kids, Lucy and Fiamma, 7 and 12 years old, clean up the only white wall that I have in my house, because I just have one as a New York apartment. All the walls are covered by furniture. You try to put the furniture so you can move inside. So, and we didn't have paint, so we painted with tempera. And we fixed all the holes and everything. And that was my canvas. So it was very interesting. Tape my entire living room floor so then I can adapt to this screen and work with the limitations. So we ended up doing a black and white dance film that is very Fellini-esque and adapting this piece that's supposed to be, you know, the last work in progress that I have for this piece. It was at Jackson Church 3 days before we all closed down. So I have like running around the space, and previously that to San Mark Church. So I have these amazing cupolas and space where I can scream and I can run, and then suddenly in my living room apartment with a lot of light that Todd put, thank God he had a lot of things here and with his super camera. And so we did a dance film. And then the problem was trying to negotiate the edition, because I won't still feel that it was a live performance. So I say, if I take one, I like this part, take two, I like this part. But then if we start to ensemble thing, I was feeling that I didn't run this energy. And then suddenly it was a learning curve because, as a dancer, we don't have two categories like actors. Before for the camera and perform for live stage. But then suddenly I need to convert all that. And then Daniel we laugh a lot through Zoom, all recording through Zoom. So it was Naoko and Daniel through Zoom and Todd live and moving the camera. What is best adapting? And then can you see the bottom part of the body, how far you can go? The literally, Todd camera was in my bathroom, so it can give the depth as much. But we did it, and we are so proud to present it at Exponential, because for me, it was also a testimony of this summer nightmare. Like, okay, I worked for 2 years, and I'm gonna give up? No, I still want to show this is very important. And I feel that for all of us as an artist, we have a timeline. Now I'm working in another thing. I could not hold on this piece. Perhaps when we come back live, I could do it in the break. But, now I'm in another chapter. So why continue linger all this and, cry as a mother? I just want to give birth to this project. So here it is, the film version.
I love it. And, I think that everything, I was talking about this with Deepali and then last night on the show, that everything is sort of an ongoing sequel of itself. So you're always working, you're always creating, it's always feeding into who you are as an actor or creator. But you also just want to get it out.
Yes.
Get the project out so that then you can move on to the next and let it still influence you and maybe return to it at some point. Mm-hmm. Because at the point that we can do shows inside, you're going to have another art baby that you want to birth.
Well, in this summer, I create 3 dance films. I'm a machine because they're so short, the dance films. Like I used to create long formats. I need a full-length show, but now, I can do so many. And it's been great experience because, I've been commissioned for different dance film festivals around the world, and I send that. But it's not the same thing that doing a live full-length show. But performance is about sharing. So I don't care how I share it, but I share it to you. And these questions about what is performance, what is not. So we have so much fun. I think the piece get more humorous also than the live show because of we use things like you will hear, but I will not tell, like Alexa, because we are rehearsing in my house. So it's the only sound system that I have. I'm not in a dance studio or a theater studio. So Alexa is a new character included in the piece. And, we embrace difficulties. I feel that, that's what we do as an artist. As I said before, we're like a cockroaches. Doesn't matter the difficulties. We're gonna do it.
I don't think you credited Alexa
no.
on the website.
No. I don't want to have issues with YouTube or anything. We have enough all these months about copyrights for musics and everything. So it's interesting, our transformation as an artist, how many things we need to learn in this month, almost a year.
So if you were to describe the show with 3 words,
that
would like pull an audience in, what 3 words would you use to describe the experience of viewing The Night I Stopped Acting?
I think the first one will be political. The second one will be feminist. And the third one, immigrants. Because I discovered a lot of issues again with the Alexa and my accent. So in a way, reflect where I am in the world and what I need to deal with. And as an artist, translate to different media, to different language, to different culture, you know. So yeah, these 3 words.
I love that. I would love a blooper reel of the words that Alexa couldn't get, and it's just like, couldn't you just be Argentinian, Alexa? Why are you putting me in this song?
I talk to her in Spanish as well, but she doesn't understand my accent anyhow.
Well, Alexa has some work to do.
Yes, but she knows who I am. I don't ask her, like I asked Alexa, who's Anabella Lenzu, and she replied to me. She read everything from the web.
That's cool.
That's why humor is coming across, even if it's a political piece, you know, it coming across.
Oh my goodness, I love it. And I sort of hope that you can include an image of your punk rock hairdo in the past.
I don't know. I need to ask my mom to search for these photos in Argentina. These are, you know, right there, Harriet.
I love it. I used to experiment much more with my hairstyles and colors as well. And now I just always fail at it. I don't know. I was so much better about dyeing my hair when I was younger.
Yeah, we have more patience, you know, other things too.
Other things going on in life. Well, thank you so much, Anabella. Everyone tune in on the 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern, but you can also catch it anytime after it airs. So join us for the premiere because it'll be fun.
Yes, yes.
It's not the only time you can watch it. And
especially for all my European friends, you know, that it will be for them 2 a.m. and some people 3 a.m. So they can watch it after.
Yes, or they can just drink a lot of coffee.
Yes.
And have a very weird experience. Amazing. And we'll also get to see a clip of the show, a sort of sneak peek into it. So we're excited for that. And we'll, you know, have you on.
Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping, you know, this space and support all of us in these crazy times. And we also support you in anything you need, in any, just reach to us. Thank you so much for what you do.
It's a two-way street.
Much love. Mwah. Hola, hola. Sí, are you there? ¿Estás ahí? No te escucho muy bien. La música está muy fuerte. Sí, estoy en un lugar público. No te puedo hablar ahora. No. Sí, estoy escuchando la canción de Charly García. Hablando a tu corazón. Hablando a tu corazón. Sí. ¿Y de quién va a ser? ¿De quién va a ser? Sí, estoy hablando a tu corazón. ¿Sí? Sí, estoy hablando a tu corazón. ¿Qué? ¿Estás aburrido? ¿Ah? ¿Estás aburrido? Ajá. Bueno, sí. No puedo hablar de eso ahora. ¿No puedo hablar de eso ahora? ¡Ahora! ¿No me estás entendiendo lo que te estoy diciendo? Sí, discúlpame, no puedo hablar de eso. Porque, ¿sabes cuál es el problema? Que mucha gente te está diciendo lo que vos tenés que pensar y lo que vos tenés que hacer. Ese es el problema. ¿Para qué viniste a verme? ¿Sí? ¿Cuáles son las divisiones entre el amor y performance? Amor y performance. No. ¿Vos sabés cuántas horas ensayé esta obra? ¿Cuánta guita gasté para hacer esta obra? Vos no te das ni idea. Encima me querés pegar. ¿Vos me querés pegar? ¿Para qué me viniste a ver? No. Tengo que bailar ahora. ¿No me entendés? Este no es un buen momento para tener la conversación. Ok, chao. No te aguanto más. Chao. Okay. Now, I have a very, very special surprise for you. You know, we hear the songs of Charlie Garcia, we hear the songs of Fito Páez, and now is the moment of the big one, Alberto Spinetta. I love this guitar. You know, I never hear this song while I was living in Argentina. I discovered it here in the United States. The title of this song is The Last Days of Our Life. If you look the video clip in YouTube of this song, you will see a gray screen and small black planes passing from the right to the left side of the stage. In 1978, we hold the Soccer World Cup in Argentina. And of course, we win. We're Argentinians. At the same time that planes arrive full of tourists to see the World Cup, small black planes departure and drop people in the middle of the ocean. These people were Argentinians. You know, from 1973 all the way to 1983, more than 100,000 people disappeared in Argentina. Yo estoy abajo, espérame, recíbeme. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I born in 1975. I am an artist in this. This is me. This is for me. Thank you. We are artists. We are artists. And this is for us. The water is for us. The cup is for us. The microphone for us. Everything is for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am an artist. And this is for me. I am an artist and this is for me. I am an artist. And this is me. Gracias.
I was like, Anabella wears them so well. Could I also try? It's night. I'm feeling this vibe. I'm feeling that vibe. Where's my camera? Right there. I'm feeling that vibe. The Eliza bento box vibe. Thank you so much for hosting this with me.
OMG, my great piacere and pleasure. Thank you. All the pleasures.
It's every pleasure that exists, that can exist right now.
Yes. Well put. I did a costume change as well. And I'm now having a healthy snack.
Oh. I mean, Brussels sprouts and is it a clementine? Is that what you have there?
It's a satsumo.
I have nothing good for me here. I have so many things here. I have multiple remotes to things. I have, as we've seen, two tiny skulls. I have, a pig. I have like so many glasses.
Oh my God. You have a wealth.
I have multiple beverages, none of them Fiji water. I have Canada Dry. I have a vitamin water. I have a High West whiskey.
Oh my.
I have so many things, but none of them. I have like a burnt out lamp.
Yep.
Look at that. That's where you can see where it's burnt. I have hand sanitizer.
You have everything you need, Theresa.
Except for a healthy snack.
Well, that can be the next thing.
That can be the next thing.
You are enough. If yoga teaches us nothing.
Quote of the night. If yoga teaches us nothing. No, it's
Dude,
good.
You have enough. This was such fun. It's been 2 hours of content.
And I keep telling our gorgeous and glorious team, Lauren Miller and Ben, you know what? I don't know that I've ever said your last name, Ben. So you're going to have to, as a person with the last name that warrants teaching how to say it.
Sulzinsky.
I didn't want to mess it up. Sulzinsky. Lauren Miller and Ben Sulzinsky making this all possible. It's like, I mean, and I keep saying it'll be an hour. And I mean,
there's always next week.
There's always next week. But tonight was too, but I loved every second of it.
It was great.
And it's an hour earlier where you are, so I think that you're winning.
I've got a whole evening ahead of me.
Oh my goodness, you can watch whatever new stuff HBO put on.
So much content.
Or read a book.
So much.
You know what? Send me an essay about your thoughts about Bridgerton.
Oh my God. We have to discuss. I have a lot of thoughts. A lot of them conflicting. I'm only halfway through, but I did watch 4 episodes yesterday.
Oh my God. Well, okay. That's like, okay. But like, watch the rest and then we'll talk.
It's a lot of content. No. I know. I gotta go watch 4 hours of content.
You've not yet seen, and this is not a spoiler, but you've not yet seen a lot of the sexiness.
No, I know because I saw somebody narrating and being like, oh, hell no. And like, it was Michael, the real Michael Jackson, the living Michael Jackson, Strange Loop Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. And he was like watching the scene and narrating it, his reactions being like, what is this? So I know that that's coming. Mm-hmm. I could have predicted that anyway. Good night. This was great fun. To the 9 folks left.
You did it. Night. We did it. You did it. We all did it. Out of an abundance. 45 episodes.
Not a sexy number. I wish I was doing 46, but
don't we all?
I'll take what I can get.
Listen, come back next week. But let's keep it shorter next week. So we have 1 week left of Exponential. We're doing that, and then check out the website. Thank you for those adorable little bubbles below us vowels. And then we're at least gonna do 52 episodes of this show.
Obvi.
I mean, yeah, I hate to be obvious, but sometimes I gotta be obvious.
No, it's good sometimes. It's good.
Sometimes. But then as soon as I get obvious, I'm like, but what if we didn't do that? And so that's where my brain is going now. So welcome to that. But yeah, so we'll be back next week, 8 o'clock this time. 1 week left of Exponential. And really, honestly, Lauren and Ben, at any point, if you want to take us out, because I could just stay on all night.
It's time to go. I'm leaving.
It's time to go. Eliza has to go to bed.
I gotta go to bed. I gotta watch Bridgerton.
Yes, you do.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.